And welcome everyone. This is Ashley's Heart Song. I am so grateful that you're here. This is the place where we get out of the stress and back into our body, our life, and our business. When we tap into the song of our heart, we actually master the mind and the stress that steals our life. And that is what this journey is all about, is us finding our way through. And our topic today just aligns so beautifully with this. It is about, are you getting what you want? Or are you getting what you don't want? And when we look at that, most people, they are wishing for something. They wish, they think about it, they talk about it, and yet they go, it's just not happening for me. And we ask ourselves, is it circumstance? Is it just bad luck? What is it really about? And that is what today's show is going to do. We are going to clear that pathway to kind of discovering why people aren't getting what they want and what they can do to get what they want, especially when it comes to the health and vitality of their physical form. But first, before we go any further, let's get our vitality scores. So if you have a sheet of paper and a pen, we're going to go through the 4 quadrants that makes up the beautiful us. And the first area we're going to look at is our mental vitality today. So today, mentally, do you feel on point, really sharp? That would score close to a 10. These scales that we work with are 1 to 10. Or do you feel like you're thinking, the mental processes of you is slow, sludgy, maybe a little bit in the muck? If it is, then you're going to score lower, between a 1 and a 5. Write down your number. This vitality score helps us to see what area of us we need to put our attention so we can elevate the health of our body. So next quadrant we want to work with is emotional wellness. So emotionally, where are you today? Do you feel emotionally balanced and just or, and that's close to a 10, or are you feeling emotionally imbalanced? Do you feel a little moody, a little edgy, maybe a lot edgy? Maybe today feels like one of those days where nothing is going your way. Then that emotional score would be between a 1 and a 5. All right, next quadrant is the physical aspect of you. Physically, where do you feel today? Are you strong? Are you feeling just energy flowing through you and you have more than enough energy to get through the day? That's going to score you closer to a 10 on the scale. Or do you feel a low energy? You feel a little weak. It's like, oh, I just really don't want to get out today. You know, what are those thoughts that are coming through your mind or around your body? That is going to give you a lower score, between a 1 and a 5. So where are you physically on that scale of 1 to 10? Write down your number. Then spiritually, you are a spiritual being on a physical journey. So spiritually, where are you today? Have you taken time and gotten connected and aligned, or do you feel a little disconnected today? Between a 1 and a 10 being connected, aligned, you've got things going on, or closer to a 1 where you're feeling a little disconnected, unpurposeful. Where are you spiritually on that spectrum? All right, write down your score. Now you want to tally them. The high score that you can get is a 40. And so if you are around 30 and up, you're doing great. What you're doing is working. You just need to look at those areas of life where the score's a little low and figure out what needs tweaking. And if you're below a 30, then you are really getting a great mental picture on what's happening with you. And whether your emotional score was low, your mental score, your physical score, whatever score was low, then that's the area, or lowest, that's the area you want to address first. And just really put some tender loving care on it and figure out, okay, why am I feeling emotionally low or mentally low, physically low, spiritually low? You just want to ask yourself some important questions, journal, and listen to this show so you can get some great ideas of how to level up each one of those areas, because every show we talk about the mental, physical, emotional, and spiritual aspect of us. So, All right. Now, second point on that score is do not let it stress you. Do not let it bring thoughts of, oh, I'm so unhealthy. No, 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 no. This is just a little snapshot of where you are in this moment because we are moment by moment beings. And each moment we have the power to turn things around. And it's in this moment that we're working with. All right. So don't let it get you down. Just pay attention to what the information that the score is giving you so that you can correct that. Okay. Let's get on to other things around this show. We have got a good lineup for you. So I want to start with a quote by Zig Ziglar. The first step to getting what you want is to have the courage to get rid of what you don't. Is that not true or what? There are things that we all want. And are we going for them or are we allowing those things, those circumstances or beliefs about ourselves or thoughts, are we allowing those to keep us shackled to the here and now? What are we allowing? And do we have the courage to get rid of circumstances, beliefs, thoughts? Maybe you need more education on something. Maybe you need to add something, but you've been afraid to go for it. Do you have the courage to let go of what is holding you back? That's really the big question. When we think about something that we want, we might even wish for it, cross our fingers and wish for it. And yet we can find that it just doesn't happen. And the thought processes that I've heard from people are, it's never going to happen for me. It didn't happen for my parents. It's not going to happen for me. Or, yeah, my friend, they're the lucky ones. I'm not lucky. Those thoughts right there are the very thoughts that you need, if anyone, whoever is having those thoughts, needs the courage to let go of those belief systems because they're not true. Each person has their own individual pathway and they have their own individual strengths, gifts, ideas. And these strengths and gifts were knit together within them in their mama's womb. It was knit within you. You have these. So the question here really is, are you going to believe in yourself enough and in those gifts and in those strengths for you to get what you want in your life? To be vibrantly healthy, and this show is in the health and fitness and wellness arena, but really it is truly a journey of the body-mind complex. Those two must be in sync for you to get ahead in anything in your life, whether it is with your health or with your finances, your career, your relationships, your friendships in your community, your service. No matter what area that is in, it is truly about getting your body-mind complex in sync. You know, when we think about the health and vitality of our body, it's more than just eating right and exercising. It involves so much more than those two components. And when in any of my courses that I teach, it's always about the 6 and 7 areas, 7 is what I have on one course, that make up your vibrant health. And when you attend to those 7 areas, you will elevate your health exponentially. The mind plays a very significant role in your health. I was just in conversation with someone this past weekend, and they were saying, quote, I don't understand why I'm not feeling good. All of my tests are coming back okay. My blood work is okay. My oxygen levels are okay. I just don't understand why I'm not feeling good. And my question for them was, what thoughts are in your mind throughout the day? What do you think about? When you get up in the morning, what do you think about? During the middle of the day, what are you thinking about? And this person said, well, I'm not feeling good. So I think a lot about that and how weak I am and that I'm aging and I'm closer to death now than I ever was. When that person expressed that to me, I was like, well, that's why you don't feel well. When those thoughts are the thoughts that are in your mind, whether it's those or whether it's ones as simple as, my jeans feel too tight around my waist. Oh, I think I gained 5 pounds. I do not like myself. Why did I do that? Why did I do that to myself? Things like this, whether it's about our weight, whether it is about our overall health and vitality, whether it is the life that we have left to live, no matter where we are on the spectrum. If you're a 30-year-old or 25-year-old, what are you thinking? Are you thinking life-giving thoughts? Because a 25-year-old in the way they think and a 75-year-old in the way they think needs to be pretty much the same as far as the direction of the thoughts. The idea of, wow, I just really blurred up. There we go. The idea around um, forward thinking and life-giving thoughts and um, positivity and love and joy and bliss, and that's the direction. Growth, expansion. If we think like this person in the story I'm sharing with you, then you just get more of that, of the weakness, the not feeling good, the fatigue. I have another story for you that I think is so fun. And this is also around the power of the words we're speaking, whether it is to people, whether it is to inanimate objects, right? Everything has a vibration in this world, right? And our words are a vibration, and the words that come out of our mouth actually impact not only a living being, but a non-living being. And my husband and he was driving me to the chiropractor, and my car was elsewhere. It's with my son, he's borrowing it. And so I asked my husband if he could drive me, and he drives this old truck. It's like a 2006 Ford F-250. It's a beast. I mean, this thing is a beast. It's just awesome. And we were driving along and we're talking about his truck and the age of it and things about it. And I said, man, it has that many miles on it. It had a ton of miles. I can't remember what it was. I can't remember how many thousands of miles, but anyway, it's very high on mileage. And it's still running. It still goes for him. And I said to him, I said, make sure that your conversation around your truck is how much you love it. And thank you for working for me. Thank you for running today. Thank you for driving us down the highway, because this truck, being as the age that it is working in your favor right now. And we want it to continue working in the favor. Now, is the truck listening? Truck doesn't have ears. However, the words we speak have power, have power. What we think and feel is directly related to the chemistry of everything, especially your body. So it was a fun conversation to have with my husband about his truck. You be kind to your truck. You talk nice words to your truck. You let your truck know how much you appreciate your truck so that it continues to be functional, continues to start every morning, continues to get you home safely at night, right? So how are you speaking into everything in your life? This is where we're going today, because what we want is just a word away. That's all. What you want is an expression, one expression away. That one expression will change the trajectory of your life. So the first point I want to make to you today is, we are what we think. We have heard that all of our lives, right? We are what we think. How does that happen? Well, similar to what I said just a moment ago, whatever we're thinking, we will begin to feel it. So if you wake up, and let's do something positive. If you wake up and go, oh my gosh, I am so grateful to be alive today. What you just said, that thought, and then those words created a feeling in your body. This feeling chemistry can be very magnetic, and it produces a state of operation. That state of operation was one of positivity. When we are in that state of positivity, we actually can counterbalance, I think it's 7,500 in the opposite feeling mode. So anyone out there in negativity, you could counterbalance 7,500 of those souls. Okay, that's pretty cool. That's very cool. Our being and the way we think, and then the feelingness of our body, that chemistry actually impacts anything, counterbalances 7,500 souls that are in the opposite direction. Very, very cool. So if you're thinking, I am so grateful, and you have that gratefulness chemistry within you, then you are gratitude. And imagine what that gratitude gets you. It gets you more of what you're thankful for. If you woke up in the opposite direction, if you woke up on the wrong side of the bed and said, oh my gosh, I can't believe I have to get up. Oh, I've got to work this job that I don't enjoy. You know, if you just keep going in that direction, or man, I'm so tired, I didn't get enough sleep. Whatever that is, if those thoughts are what's coming in your mind, your body will begin to feel that in a chemistry. That is a lower vibration, and that lower vibration, it's below the line thinking, and that lower vibration of your body produces more what? More of the lower vibrations. And when we are feeling those lower vibrations around disgruntlement, distraught, procrastination, worry, disbelief, you get the idea. Discouragement, worry, anger, angst, depression, all of those words that are below the line. When you begin to feel those, that is exactly what's happening in your body. And get this, it impacts your body in a negative way by producing an inflammatory response. What does that mean, an inflammatory response? An inflammatory response creates dis-ease inside your body. It's an environment for what you don't want, which is illness, fatigue, pain. So below the line thinking, anything in the fear realm, the worry realm, the procrastination, disbelief realm, anything below the line, the neutrality line, is going to create an environment inside your body that creates more dis-ease and distress. That's what you don't want. So what is the fix for that? To think positively, to think in gratitude, to think in more than enough, to think in love, to think in like even, to think in, yeah, I can do this. So we pay attention to the state of operation of our body. Your body will tell you in any given moment where your thoughts have been. And if you're used to the negative thoughts and not feeling good, then this could be challenging for you to recognize, because when we get used to our body feeling a certain way, it begins to feel like that's the normal way to feel, when in all actuality, it's not the normal way to feel. It could be normal for you in that time of your life because where your thoughts have been. But if you just simply close your eyes and imagine, if I am vibrantly healthy and I am living a life I love, I'm surrounded by people that just love me and I love them. And if I'm doing what I love in my life for work, if I'm serving in a powerful way and that's fun, how would I feel? How would I feel in my body? What does it feel like? Does it feel joyful, happy, serene? What is it? How does it feel? And when we can identify that and then go, okay, let's run a comparison. Do I feel like that right now? With the thoughts I was just thinking? Oh, no, I'm way down here. Then you begin to understand that your body and the way it's feeling in that moment is not getting you what you want. Because if your body feels yucky, you aren't going to get what you want. How do I know this? Because your body is identifying the way you're thinking in your mind. We are what we think, y'all. We produce what we think. So what are you thinking? Now, when we look at that, the thinking less than thoughts never gets you more than experiences. So thinking less than thoughts never gets you more than experiences. So we have less than thoughts. They do not produce more than experiences. They don't. It just doesn't happen. So what do we do in this instance? We have 70,000 thoughts a day coming through our mind. Wow, you can't catch every one, but we can catch one. We might even catch the 100th one after that. We could also catch the 125th after that. We can catch one at a time consciously and begin taking them captive and either don't need you anymore. Are we going to have the courage to get rid of them? Are we going to have the courage to transform them? What will you do with those thoughts that you take capture? I love that though. Thinking less than thoughts never, ever, ever gets you more than experiences. Doesn't happen. So what are you going to do? If you want the more than experiences, the experiences that give you more than, if you want that, how are you going to start thinking? What will be going through your mind all the time? I was reading a book. I am reading a book currently right now. And it is, I think it's called You Too Can Be Prosperous or something like that. It's a small little book, magical book. But he says in there that every morning you repeat your I am statement, whatever it is that you're wanting in your life, you repeat that 100 times every single morning, 100 times. Every time you think about it, you repeat it 100 times, and you are beginning to reprogram your brain to think like that. So can you speak it 100 times and begin training your brain differently than how you've trained it in the past? The third point I have today, and probably the biggest suggestion I have for you, is don't play the blame game. It never works in your favor. If something is not going your way, to blame it off on something will never go in your favor and will never give you more than experiences. It still only gives you less than experiences. Why? Because the blame game is below the line. It is in the fear realm. And anytime we fear anything, it brings us down. It brings our thinking down below the line, and we can't get out of the muck puddle. So the blame game, it's never any fault of anything. It just is what it is. Change your mind first. Change your thoughts and the chemistry it's producing in your body. Then you will notice it will turn around. You will. It does. We are that powerful, y'all. Can you imagine? We are that powerful. We have been blessed so beautifully with a body-mind complex that works in our favor when we train it. The Bible says, train your children in the way that they will go and they will not depart from it. What about training your brain, your mind? Train your mind in the way that it should think, in the way that it should go, and your mind is not going to depart from it, and you are going to produce in your life exactly what you would love. Now, we are so human, y'all. We are so human, and we have a fear-based mind, a fear-based brain. You know, it's designed to save the life of that physical form of you. It's designed to keep it alive. So if it ever feels threatened, it's going to jump into a stress response. Our responsibility is to catch that, to notice it. And it could be in the moment. It could be an hour from after the experience. It could be 24 hours after the experience. Catch it as soon as you can. And what do in that moment? We jump into gratitude. We jump into the breath. We jump into positivity. And we begin to think, okay, what is going right for me right now? What is it that I love right now? And we sometimes have to start at the very baseline foundational gratitude, like, I'm just grateful to be alive. I am grateful I've got food in my pantry. I am grateful I have clothes on my back, right? We might have to be very base like that until we can work our way up and out of that muck puddle of stinking thinking. Find an I am statement that really does lift you up and gives you that enthusiasm bubble. Find something, a statement, words that really have power within you, that bring that power out of you. And you will find that you'll be able to get yourself out of the muck and turn those thoughts around so that you can get exactly what you would love for your health, your life, your business, for all of it. Y'all, I am so grateful that you have been with me today. Thank you for joining me for Ashley's Heart Song. Join me again next week as we continue to armor up our lives. See you next time.